Hey there farmers, it's Red Knight here and welcome to a very special video. That's right everybody, this video is all about Rose and Ernest, i.e. the brand new helpers. Now if you are a level 32, guess what? You just need to reach the end of that. So 32,400 points, get to level 33 and basically you can get these two wonderful people. Now to do that, what you're going to have to do is to do your own farming. So up until level 33, everything you do is basically yourself. You're farming, you're weeding, you're feeding your animals, you're collecting your crops, you're collecting your produce, you're making your products, and then basically you're selling and you're filling orders. So everything is DIY farming, so do it yourself up to and including level 32. Now the thing you should be working towards is basically level 33. So start working on that experience point. Start actually building up your XP, reaching those thresholds and achieving that level. Because once you actually get to level 33, you're going to be introduced to two wonderful characters, and it's a very big change within the game. Now I've been playing since 2013 and I actually like this addition to the game. And for me, as a player who is also very busy in the real world, so working, doing family commitments, I find these two characters very useful because they actually do a lot of things that take time. And basically, if they do their task for me, it's fantastic. Right, now here you'll see I'm about to get to that all-elusive level 33. So I'm really happy about that because as soon as I get to level 33, as I said, I will get them. So yay, we've leveled up. So I now get those brand new helpers there, and don't they look super cool? So in addition, I can actually make new orders, I can start smelting new ores, I get more land, and I get new decorations. So actually 33 can be very nice. Now to get to the next level I've got to do 35,800 points, and again that's very good because I can actually get a lot more within the game. And I often like coming up to the actual top there and seeing what's next. So look there, the town is coming up very soon. So I do like the town, and again that's another area that's good. But for me, the point of actually reaching level 33 is very important because, as I said, it gives me these two little characters. So let's just push the rest of the game to the side for the moment and let's now start focusing on these two wonderful characters. So let's introduce them. Right, so we got two characters. Who are they? Well, the first one is Rose, and there she is. She's gorgeous, and her job is to help with the animals, and she also basically makes feed as well. Now when they first came out, okay, there were a few things that we didn't like about it and some things we did like. The other character here is Ernest, and he's going to focus on your dairy and sugar. Now as I said, when they first came out, a lot of people weren't too keen on them because they were misusing them in many ways. Now I actually sussed out very quickly the best way to use them, and I was able to become very comfortable. Now I do like them because when they do their regular tasks you get expansion materials, as you've just seen there as well. Now selecting the helper is very easy. You go in, you choose one, and then that comes your first menu. So as an example with Ernest here, he's going to be making your dairy products. So you can pick and choose what you would like. Now depending on your level will depend on the actual amount of products that he can make. Now I'm like a level 104 here, so I can do 100. For my actual baby farm I can only do 30. So it does adjust based on your level, so the higher you go within the game the more it increases, which is good. Now the main thing here you need to be aware of is that you can adjust the actual requests that he's doing, and this is the same for both of the characters. Now when he's actually doing something, he's going to take up one slot, so you can see him here with a little character above the item, and he will make that in exactly the same amount of time that it takes to actually produce. Now what you can do is then add more items behind it, and then basically when you cycle through those, he will then do the next item. Now personally I don't need to worry about that now because he's actually producing goods for me. I can just tell him what to do, leave him to do it, and he will just make them, and I don't need to load up the machine. I don't even need to use the rest of those 8 spaces that I've got within the actual machine itself because he will just cycle through until he's made all of the goodies. So it's fantastic overnight. If you like tell him to make 20, or as an example you come back in the morning, 20 are made, normally you could only do, let's say, like the 9 slots, so you'd have to make like another 9 later. But during the night, as an example, even during the day, he's producing a lot of goodies, which is really, really good, and I like him for that. Now, in fact, Rose is exactly the same. So both Rose and Ernest do the same kind of function. They produce goods for you, which is really, really beneficial. Now, okay, Ernest does 2 of them. He does the dairy and the sugar. And again, with the actual sugar, basically the items he's producing, he takes up 1 slot and he will keep making it. You need to adjust the actual amounts so he's producing what you need without basically you needing to worry about the game. Now, you could request for him to make, let's say, like the 3 sugars, but he's only going to do 1 at a time, and he will do them randomly. So maybe he'll do brown first, then white, then the syrup, then white, then the syrup, then brown again. He has his own way of doing things. You can't rush him. Now, if you want to only make the 1 product, then you need to set the others either at 0 or to the actual amount that you've got in storage. My recommendation is go for 0, because if you do use items, he's then going to make the items back up to that number that you thought you lowered it down to. So setting him to 0 is very good. Now, exactly with Rose, she does the same kind of thing. You need to adjust it. Now, please, please, please don't actually make too many eggs. It's better if you actually use Rose to do the products that take a long time. So like your milk as an example, your wool, your bacon, your goat's milk. I would say leave her to be functioning on that one. Usually with the actual eggs, I only make, let's say, like about 20 or 30 eggs, and I use those within my actual farm itself. I'm not going to be selling them. So guys, stop selling these resources in the newspaper, because you just kill the newspaper. Use the items to actually make goods on your farm. Stop making them just to make cash and put them in a newspaper. It's not designed for that. It's designed to assist you when it comes to actually producing items. Now, Rose's job is to also feed your animals. Now, when the update first came out, she did everything. A lot of people were not happy because they wanted to do derby tasks. So Heyday tweaked it, and basically they gave us the option of she only does it as and when she needed. Now, for some of us like myself, okay, I preferred the first option. So again, there was a mass feedback again on Rose. Now, I can honestly say the update we've just had now for winter 2016, absolutely fantastic, because it now gives us 3 options. Rose can actually do everything, or she can just do part of it, or basically she does a very, very bare minimal. And I like that one. And you need to go into Rose, and there's a little wheel that you tap on just to actually indicate what you want her to do. So it's much, much better in the way that it's now been set up. Now, this is what I mean by the newspaper. Look at that. People have been overloading it with eggs, and even now they are still doing this. So guys, please stop it. It's really not necessary. Now, in some ways I kind of liked it as well, because I get the opportunity to buy lots of eggs, so I didn't need to worry about making feed. Now, okay, the items that they are both making, where are they going? Are they going to affect your storage? Okay, can you use them? Can you sell them? Yes. Now, prior to the recent update, the items would go into Rose and Ernest's own storage. So when you looked in your barn, it was not part of that. You actually saw the indication of, like, you've got a Rose amount and then you've got your amount. Now, you could use both of those items still, but the items were not stored in your barn or your silo as an example, so it did not take up space, which was fantastic. So you can have these guys making lots of items and it did not take up your storage, which was like, oh my god, that's wonderful. So if you are very, very limited on space, fantastic. Now, I would like to have a request here for Heyday, please, if you are actually watching this video. Okay, the maximum barn size at the moment in silo is 10,000. Now, I'm not anywhere near that, but I'm now starting to think I need to actually expand my barn size more than the 2,500 I've got it, because this is actually allowing me to produce a lot more goods a lot faster. And that's what I like about it. I can actually produce more. So I'm actually requesting that, please, for the higher level players, especially with the latest update and all these new products as well, can we please expand the barn and silo maybe up to about like 15,000 or even 20,000, just to give people the option to be able to store more products. I think it will make a very, very interesting impact on the game as well, and it will certainly make it easier. Now with the latest update as well, you'll notice that there are some new changes with the actual selling of items as well, and in relation to the way the barn and the silo look. So do go and check them out. In fact, I'm going to cover that in a separate video a little bit later, but it's much better. I like the way it looks. I like the way that we can now use and see things much more clearly. So it's a better way of actually looking at it. Now, Rose and Ernest items, can you sell them? Yes, you can. And you can actually sell just their items as well without actually affecting the items you've got in your barn as well. So if you wanted to, when you actually go to sell, there are now 3 tabs, which is again really good. Now the key thing with these two, so let me just reiterate, let me just re-clarify the main way of dealing with these two characters. One, you need to actually adjust them. So adjust the amounts that you need. Don't overly make or produce too many eggs. It's really not necessary. The egg should be the lower amount unless you're actually using a lot of eggs to make items. If you want to make one specific item, then 0 all of the other items, and then the character you're choosing will only make that one item that you want. If you want to make many items, okay, then fine, just pick and choose the quantity that you would like. They will then basically do that item. Now, some things you need to be aware of is in relation to the resources to produce these dairy products, to produce the actual products for the animals. You need to feed your animals. Now, this is what Rose can do for you. You can disable the option or you can select it. So Rose will feed your animals, and she will collect all of the resources. She will even make feed and put it into her own little storage. So as an example, let's say that you've got like 15 sheep as an example. She will make 16 feed. If you've got like 6 chickens, she will make 7 feed. So she's always got 1 extra than the actual number of animals that you've got within your farm itself. Now, the only thing you need to be doing is producing the crops. So your mission is to keep her stocked up with crops. Now, she will tell you if you actually haven't got them. Usually an exclamation mark comes up. Usually there's some kind of indication. Like if she's producing, you can see here the actual wheels moving around. But if there is an issue in relation to products, she will have a little indication above her name as a little warning. When it's critical, it will go red. Now, they will use your crops that you have in your silo until you get to, let's say, around 10. So you need to make sure you keep on top of this. If you are actively using them, trust me, you need to produce those crops. So make sure that you don't forget to do your soya beans. Otherwise, you will find that some of the feed that you've got to do, you can't actually produce, and then you're wasting time. Now, cost-wise, how much does it cost to use these two characters? Well, you are going to have to use diamonds, I'm afraid. Now, when they first came out, we were given them for 7 days free of charge. Fantastic, gave us a wonderful opportunity to experience and to use them. They then extended it to another 3 days as they made a change within the game. Awesome, so that's 10 free days. Now, since then, okay, basically special deals like this have been coming up. So just like with Tom, you can hire them, and every now and then there are special deals. Now, you'll see here you can hire them for 3 days, for 7 days, or even longer, and you can pick and choose. Another good indication that there's a sale on is the actual flag there by the house, so you get a percentage discount, and again you can pick and choose. Now, the 3 days, just like Tom, is not discounted, but anything above that is actually reduced down. Now, I like it. I like the fact that we do get these special deals. Now, one thing I did find in the latest update as well is there is a brand new option for this as well, and it's absolutely awesome. It's really good in the fact that you now have the opportunity to watch a movie and get them free of charge. Whoa, now that's good. So you watch an advertisement and they're free. So that's what I'm currently using at the moment in the game, and I do like it a lot. So it's actually rather pleasant in relation to the fact that I'm not having to spend any money to use these helpers, and I like that. I like that a lot. Free stuff is always good. Now, if you've already purchased diamonds within the game, do you have to watch the movie to hire them? No, you don't. Like many games now, when you're actually buying something within the game, it cancels off the advertisements because you've made a purchase within game, so it stops those advertisements, but you still get the opportunity to get that discount. So the movie doesn't play, it just starts the actual process. Now, when it comes to hiring these two characters, remember that you can pick and choose what you want Rose to do. So once you've actually hired the character that you want, especially Rose as an example, go into her. Okay, you can start selecting what you want her to do, and then make sure you click on the little wheel that's in the left hand side at the top of her box that comes up, and then you can pick and choose of the three choices. Now, I did actually cover this in another video, so make sure you do check out that as well, and it's actually very easy to use and very simple. Right, now I love these two. I like the fact that they are very useful, and I do enjoy using them. Now, some of the drawbacks, let's just cover the negative points towards the end here. And they are three basic things. Number one, okay, is the overloading of the roadside stand, i.e. the newspaper. Please do be careful of that. Number two, you need to actually make sure you produce enough crops to actually make the feed per Rose. Number three, okay, they are going to cost you diamonds, so do take advantage of the special deals, and if there's a free offer, use it, because it is very beneficial. Now, make sure as well that you don't forget to monitor what they're actually producing, because once you've maxed out to your number, they won't do any more. Okay, right, that's it. I love these two characters. They are beneficial, and I'm going to go back to my farm. So, see you all next time, and have a happy heyday now, everybody. Goodbye all.